Okay, so good evening, all of you. Welcome to the last live session of the NPTEL course, Multi-Core Computer Architecture. I hope you all have gone through the videos and completed the assignments. In this weekend, we are having the exam. Thanks for joining this live session. And then today's our approach is we will take up if you have any very specific questions, and then there are some questions in the forums which I'll come to know. So prior to that, let me talk. There are some questions in the forum. One is with respect to Thomas Ulo's algorithm, where you are given a sequence of instruction and you are asked to write the time at which the issue, the execution, the write back, and the commit happens. So people have asked the doubt, when do I write that? The data is available from CDB. When will I know the data is written from ROB, and when will I know it is from RF, the register file? So when it comes to speculative processes, please do understand. So let me share one screen. Whether sharing is working, can you see?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
What are you seeing now?
Sir, your downloads folder, you can click on the 11 that you can double click on it, that 11 picture.
So I'm not able to get it correctly. Let's stop sharing. Now, can you see that picture now?
No, sir. Shall I share?
You can share then, that is better. If you can share, I'll be able to explain that. So one of the students has actually raised this question. Probably since it is in a WhatsApp sharing, that is the reason that I'm not able to properly share it. If the student is there, Abir, do you know who is the student? Name? This Chetan Somana is there. Chetan Somana was the one who was asking this query. So if Chetan is there, it will be helpful. I think Chetan is not there. Okay. Okay. So dear students, I hope now you can see the screen. Is the screen visible? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
so consider this question. Here you are asking about a sequence of an instruction with one reservation station. This is one of the students who pointed out this. So if you look at the fourth instruction, it's a division instruction. And you cannot issue this instruction because the previous division has to be over. So you know that second instruction is division. It will write back the result only at 11. So at 12 only I can issue the new one because there is only one reservation station. This is a typical case of a question. So now if you look at division of R6, R6 and R7. So the source operands are R6 and R7. The first source operand, I can get it from register file because the value of R6 is freshly available. No other previous instruction is writing to R6. So I can get, that is the value called RF. I'm talking about the fourth instruction, div I, R6, R6, R7. So it is issued only in 12 because the previous division you will write back only at 11. That's why I can issue only at 12. First operand I take from the register file because it is fresh. Second operand R7, you can see that the previous multiplication instruction write the result at 8. So from clock cycle number 8 to clock cycle number 13, that's the time in which you are going to commit. At 13 only, it will go to the register file. So between 8 and 13, since you issue at 12, between 8 and 13, you get the value from ROB. That's what is been shown there. But now if you look at the next instruction, that is the add instruction, the last one, whose source operands are R6 and R2, R6 value will be given only by the previous division. So at the clock cycle number 13, where you are going to issue, you get the value of R6 only from CDB. It is not going to ROB because it goes to ROB only at 21. So between 12 to 21, you have to wait pinging CDB. That is why you are having the first source coming from CDB and the second source R2. R2 is fresh. No other instruction is writing onto R2. You get from RF. So the idea is at the time of issue, you see the value of that register is already updated by a previous instruction, but not committed, then you get from ROB. If it is not, if it is pending execution in a previous instruction, then you get the value from CDB. So this is one important thing that you may have to know. From where will I get a value? Whether I get a value from the register file direct or from ROB or from CDB. I hope it is clear. If anyone has any query on this, I'll be happy to take up. You can raise your hand and then we'll ask you to unmute and speak. Anybody who is attending now have any query on this? Okay, I think. So Amir, you can stop sharing. Then there is another question where someone has asked in the discussion forum about the value is 8 or 9. Can you share that? A tabular column of Thomas-Ull's algorithm with the speculation and without speculation marked with number 9 marked with square.
One second, sir. Is it visible?
Yes. So students, this is a typical case where you are going to talk about multiple iterations of a loop, and the student's query was why the one that is marked in yellow, because actually we can compute the address of the store instruction at clock cycle number 8. Why are you delaying? You have to see that the load and store, the EX unit in the previous iteration, that is the very first instruction in the second iteration, it's a load instruction that is executing at 8. So execution of a load instruction means computation of an address. So the subsequent store cannot do it at 9 because the EX unit is busy at clock cycle number 8, computation of address of the load instruction. That is the reason that store is happening at 9. Unless the previous load was not there, then you could have done it early. So the command is telling that you are waiting for your DAD instruction to complete. That's one thing. But why execution is delayed? The same is the problem with the second square also. We can see that the second square you are having the execution of the store in the third iteration at 15. Why are you not doing at 14? Because at 14 my EX unit is busy. That's the answer I wanted to give it out here. Abir, you can stop sharing this, and then there is an Amdahl's law question. You can share that screen. Amdahl's law question where you are asking about what is that denominator 0.67.
Sure, sir. One second.
So in the meantime, if any of the attendees have any question. Yeah, there is a question from Bharadwaj. Do we expect numerical question on dynamic scheduling, multiple issue and speculation? So we can have question wherein we ask about a sequence of the instruction given, at what clock cycle issue happen, at what clock cycle the write back happens. But it may not be big code, maybe 4 or 5 lines, and we just wanted to know which all timings are dependent. Okay, so kindly look at the slide that is being shared. There is a student who is seeking a clarification of how do you get 0.67. So let me reiterate the question. It is a question on Amdahl's law. You're talking about a new floating point unit that speeds up floating point operation by 2 times. So in an application, 1/5 of the instruction are floating point operations. So what is the overall speed up? That's the first portion. A, speed up is defined by 1 minus fraction enhanced plus fraction enhanced by speed up enhanced. So I'm talking about the subdivision A. How do you get 1.11? It's straightforward. 1 divided by, you are telling 1/5 of an instruction is floating point instruction. So 1/5 is nothing but 0.2. So you have the sequential portion 1 minus 0.2. That much portion is unaffected. And 0.2 fraction is speeded up by 2. That is 0.2, which is the fraction enhanced divided by speed up enhanced is 2. So once you do that, you get 1.11. So there is this minor mistake in the way how we have written. The second portion is B. It's not A. Second portion is assuming that the speed up of the floating point unit mentioned above slows down a cache access, slows down data cache access by 1.5 times. So assuming that load instruction constitute 15% and store instruction constitute 9%, what is the total 9% of total instruction? What is effective overall speed up? So this is a typical case of you are going to perform an optimization on one of the units. So in this case, what you are telling, you are going to improve the performance of floating point operation by how much? By 2 times. Now what happens is you have 1/5 of your instruction or floating point instruction which get benefit by 2 times. But because of you do this optimization, there is another portion of your system which get impacted. That is your data cache access. Now data cache, when are you accessing? Whenever there is a load instruction or whenever there is a store instruction. So together 15% of instructions are load and 9% instructions are store. Altogether 15 plus 9, that's 24% is data cache access. So 24% of instructions which are touching data cache are being slowed down by 1.5. So it's basically what you have to do. There are 2 components which is getting impacted. So what do you do? S is equal to 1 by 1 minus F1, that is fraction, which is getting improved by your floating point, that is F1. F2 is the fraction that is getting deteriorated by your data cache access. So 1 minus F1 minus F2 is the portion that are unaffected, the serial portion. Now, which are the portion that are impacted? F1 portion by N1 times and F2 portion by N2 times. So 1 by 1 minus 0.2, that is the fraction of floating point operation. 0.24, the fraction of data access, that is the fraction that is unaffected, and 0.2 divided by 2, which you already solved in A portion, the subdivision A. The second portion is 0.24 times, or the fraction is 24% of your instructions are data cache access. They are slowed down by 1.5. Slowed down by 1.5 means 1 by 1.5. So in the denominator, typically in the first half, that is 2 times speed up. So you are writing 0.2 divided by 2. That is speeding up of 2 times. So the second half is 24% of instruction are slowed down by 1.5 times. So 1.5 is nothing. Slowing down of 1.5 means 1 divided by 1.5. Or slowing down by 1.5 times means it is 0.67 times speeding up. That is the reason it is 0.24 divided by 0.67. 0.67 is nothing but 1 by 1.5. So with one component of your system is getting speeded up by 2 times. The other component of a system is being slowed down by 0.67 times. Or it's speeded up by 0.67 times. So that's why how you can solve. Okay, so there is a question in assignment 11. How does buffer increase the total available bandwidth in the network? So you have to understand that when you are talking about a buffered router, this is, so Amir, you can stop sharing. Now I'm going to take up the first question in the chat. That's asked by Shubham. Buffers increase total available bandwidth in the network. Is it true or not? So what happens is when you increase the number of buffers, you are allowing more number of packets to stay in the network. If there is no buffer like a bufferless system, then you have to deflect upwards. Since you have buffers, this is the way by which you will be in a position to store it. That's why we are telling it is increasing the number of true. But in a bufferless system, it is not. So you have to understand what we are talking is buffers are only there for input buffered routers. Hope Shubham, you understood it. If you have any query, please unmute and speak.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually, from the question, I thought that it is increasing the bandwidth of the outgoing packets. That's where I got confused, as we only have 4 directions to deflect to.
Yeah.
As you are saying that it is with reference to the input packets that we will be able to hold.
Yeah, more number of buffers that you have in input, you will be able to hold more packets till they get an output, a productive output port. So that will increase my retaining capacity of more packets in the NOC routers. Hope it is clear.
Okay. Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a question from Bharat. Can we know the pattern of the question paper, as in how many sections and number of questions? Okay. So Bharat, you can please note down the exam question paper consists of 3 types of questions. One is simple 1 mark questions. There are 24 questions of 1 mark each. That is, we have typically 12 weeks. From each week, we will get 2 questions. So 24 questions of 1 mark. They are typically MCQ questions. Then we have 24 questions of 2 mark. So that makes it 48 marks. 2 questions from each of the week. These are either numerical type answers or multiple choice questions, which are of slightly higher difficulty, or multiple select questions. There are certain questions which we have 2 correct answers. Only if you write both the correct answers, then only you will get the mark for it. So this simple 1 mark question of MCQ and 2 mark question of either numerical answer type or MCQ or multiple select questions are equally spread across all the weeks. And then we have 7 questions of 4 mark each, which are slightly at the higher level. Typically the last 2 questions that you see at the assignments. So only 7 weeks are being chosen, and each week we have 4 marks that is been assigned. It can be a single 4 mark questions, or it can be 2 mark questions based upon a comprehension. A paragraph would be given, and based upon that 1 or 2 questions can be asked. So these are slightly at a higher difficulty level, but all the questions are taken with a pattern keeping in mind from the assignments. So if you correctly know the assignment questions, then you will not be finding any problem in getting up to 90 marks. Bharat, hope it is clear.
Sir, could you tell which 7 weeks are coming from that 4 marks question?
There is nothing like that. It can be, okay. This has been taken from 7 where there are more numerical question related, that is there.
Okay.
As per the exam policy, I am not supposed to reveal that.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay.
But then studying Thomas Solo's algorithm, that's one. Then studying on cache memory related problems, main memory related problems, NOCs, cache optimizations, GPUs. These are all should be given more importance for that 4 mark questions. So end semester exam, this is a question what Vidya is asking. End semester exam, we can expect questions similar to assignment. Yes, very much yes. If you know all the 12 weeks assignment questions completely by yourself, if you can once again solve, getting 80 marks is easy. Okay. So that's about to Vidya. You wanted to ask anything more, Vidya? Are you online? Then you can speak.
No, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. So next we move to the next question, which has been posted by Bharat. He has 2 questions. 6 transistor cell-based SRAM, write back cache with right allocation. So Bharat, please unmute and ask what the question is.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
So for 6 transistor cell-based SRAM, we use 4 transistors for back-to-back connection, right, sir?
Yes.
2 transistors are for buses and 4 transistors are for back-to-back connection, not gate.
4 transistors for NOT gate and 2 transistors which act as the switch.
Switches. So, I mean, why can't we use only one? I mean, one NOT gate, sir. Why
No,
are
no, this the
we?
problem is when you use one NOT gate, the moment I read the value, the voltage dips. So since you have two NOT gates, even if I read from one value, let's say I'm going to read a value in the bit line, your voltage you are going to check. So voltage means flow of charges. When flow of charges one, a high potential value will become low if there is only one NOT gate. Okay. Because it is cross connected, even if this is low, the other NOT gate value will always make it as high. So I wanted to retain the value. It is not like a capacitor based DRAM. I wanted to retain the value. So I need to have output, which is continuously going to maintain the value.
Okay, sir. For this write back cache with write allocation,
Ah.
we are unnecessarily in a write miss, in a cache
Ah.
write miss operation. We are unnecessarily reading the value from main memory, sir, because we are writing on it again. Is there any optimization possible there?
So you are using a write back cache with the write allocation. So write back cache means the moment you do write allocation, you are encountering a write miss. You are going to main memory, bring the block of data, keeping it in the cache. That's called write allocation. And then you may have multiple writes on it. At that time, you are not going to update, right? You are going to update only in the cache because it's write back. Only when this return block is being evicted out, then only you are going to update. So there is no problem as such with respect to that. Write back cache always go with write allocation because I bring something from main memory, put it in the cache. I don't know whether I may have multiple writes on it. Every time when you write, you are updating the cache only. The main memory is not impacted because it is write back. Correct. So maybe I perform some 100 writes on it. At the end of 100 writes, let's say now this particular block is a victim block. It's going to be evicted. Then it's a write back. Right back. Then only you are going to update main memory. So one miss, you go to main memory, bring the block, multiple write hits or read hits, whatever that you want. And then you write main memory only once. So the bandwidth or the traffic between your cache and main memory is very less.
No, sir. Actually, my question is, we are writing back, sir. After writing into main memory, we're again reading it to the cache block.
Yeah. See, you are performing, you encountered a write miss. The first access to a block was a write miss. You wanted to write onto some location. So it has never been there in the cache. Okay. That's why you go to main memory. It's a write allocation. So the policies say that you cannot write directly in main memory. You can write only in the cache. So the block has to come to the cache. That is called write allocation. Is that much clear?
Yes, sir. Yes. Now
Since I have write allocation, there is no other way that I could do. Now I will write the updated one to main memory only when there is an eviction. That is a policy what it's telling. So write allocation always goes with the write back. You bring once, do as much as you want. Whenever you don't want this block, at the time only main memory gets updated.
Okay.
Did I answer your question or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Completely answer.
Okay, fine. So in week 11 and week 12, there was a minor issue in the portal. There were certain questions which were having multiple correct answers. That means we purposefully gave, that means these are questions with multiple options are correct. We configured the assignment portal in such a way that only if you mark all the correct answers, let's say there are 2 out of 4 is correct, only if you mark both the 2, then only you are supposed to get full mark. Some of them have scored partial mark, some of them wrote only 1, but there was some portal configuration issue which we have flagged at IIT, flagged at the NPTEL team. They will re-evaluate the assignment with the key that we have given, and if applicable, your mark will get updated on week 11 and week 12. So there was a portal configuration. So some of you get your mark changed because of this re-eval. Some of you might have got, suppose if there is A and C that is correct answer, you marked only A, but then actually A and C both were there, you might have got mark. But now, since you didn't mark, you mark C, you will lose the mark completely. Because what we want is students should write both A as well as C. Okay. So assignment level question at any given point of time, maximum number of silver flits in a 5x5 mesh NOC realized using MinBD routers. Okay. So this question by Amal, you have to understand in MinBD, silver flits are local. Silver flits means every router will randomly choose one of the flit as silver. So since in 5x5 mesh NOC we have 25, we will have 25 silver flits. That's the answer. Amal,
So
are
in
you
that,
there?
so in that case, won't we consider the golden fleet? Is it in?
Yeah, here the golden flit is there. In the case of MinBD, you have one flit that is golden and 25 silver flits.
Then shouldn't it be 25 minus 1?
No, no. In one would be, see, every golden is there. Golden will keep on moving. Every router will randomly pick one of its incoming flit as silver. So it's not 24. Golden flit is globally connected and silver flit every router will randomly choose.
Okay, okay, understood.
Okay.
Okay.
Please get it clarified. Every router will pick one of its incoming packets as silver.
Okay, understood. Totally.
So golden flit would be there only one place and all other 25 routers will have silver flits. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So there is a student, as a CSE student, what hardware lang should I invest time to learn if I have extra time? Verilog versus system Verilog. So I would recommend knowing Verilog is better so that you will be knowing more about the internal. System Verilog is a little higher level than abstraction. Personally, I would recommend knowing Verilog would help. That's my response to Chirag. So Abir or Rajeshwari, did I miss any question in the chat box?
Sir, last question was that Verilog one.
Yeah, okay, fine. So any other queries or anything anybody wanted to ask, you can please raise your hands. We'll call up your name. Shubham, please unmute and speak.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
So, sir, my question is first related to this. Do as a programmer, like I work on some system programming. So, do as a programmer, now I'm understanding it, so I can have a better understanding about the hardware and over which my system will be built up. But considering it as a programmer, do I need to really dig deep into such details? Or
Okay.
because what I have while I was doing revision. So it is really helpful to go deep and to debug. But at an abstract level, at the higher level, if I'm trying to program my system, so of course I will need some basic details as a kind of block diagram to explain my architecture and to interconnect. But knowing all this, I was trying to figure out the ground, like how much deep is really needed as a programmer.
Thanks, Shubham. That's a very, very valid question. So my answer is, ultimately, if you wanted to settle your career as a programmer, you need not bother about this at all. Because you are going to write programs, whether it take 2 seconds or 3 seconds, the kind of program coding that you do, it's not going to have any effect. You may be trying to develop a small application or a user designed an interface. But people down the line, if you are going to look forward for a profile where you are involved in scientific programming, developing systems which involves heavy computation, or trying to write some systems which will translate an incoming program written by a naive user into a program which is hardware friendly, which is less space consuming, which is much faster, which is cache aware, which is main memory aware, which knows the corresponding hardware and then do current optimization. That's a little challenging engineering task. So what happens is, if your future career profile is only about writing programs, then even if you know hardware or not, it's just like a school children going and writing C program. They should not know about where it is going to run, whether it is running in a 2 gigahertz clock machine or a 1 gigahertz clock machine. All what I'm doing is searching an array from 10 elements. It doesn't make much knowledge in hardware. But there is a huge demand with India becoming semiconductor nation with a lot of chip fabrication that is going to happen. We are going to have many of our applications that are going to get customized. Future scientific programs, huge applications are going to be really memory intensive, will have good memory footprint. So programs running efficiently, there will be a lot of utility softwares which will come, which will take up your bulky program written by a naive user and will translate it into a much more system-friendly programs. These applications are indeed required, which not many applications going to run on a hardware with limited resources. So it all depends upon what you wanted to be looking forward in the another 5 to 10 years of your career plan. Simple programming is what you do, which can easily get replaced with program writing apps or program writing AI tools. Mere programming may not be that required. Okay. So hope Shubham, you understood what I am telling.
Yes, yes.
So mere programming can get replaced with machine generated codes in the future. See, if ChatGPT or AI tools can give you slides or many other data or presentations, it's very easy to generate programs. But writing systems which will optimize to your hardware, at least in the near future, it will still take a lot many of things. Or how do you write artificial intelligence program, which can take a naive user program and translate it into a machine-friendly program? Writing such AI applications requires system knowledge as well as programming knowledge. So that is slightly higher level of computer engineering. That may have a lot of job scope in the near future.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So there are a lot of internship opportunities in my group. So this is a question that Akshit Kapoor is asking. Please tell about internship opportunities coming in future. So one thing is, if you look at, there are companies which are floated based upon the Shakti microprocessor, which is developed by IIT Madras. And they are now looking forward for interns with a good computer architecture background, with the pipelining cache memory background. So there are a lot of openings there. And people with a good architecture background, there may be internship opportunities soon that will be floated. So that is going to come in that way. Then the other aspect is even IITs do have internship options. So I do take students who are doing very well in this exam for my upcoming next summer in the month of May, June, and July. Few students I may be able to take, and NPTEL also offers. So top 1% student, NPTEL gives stipend to come and work in my team. Okay. So Sudipta, the thing is, okay, thanks for the good feedback about that. You really enjoyed the teaching. You can visit my webpage or follow me in LinkedIn if you wanted to know more updates from my side. There will be an operating systems course also that will be floated by me in the next July. The recordings is over, so that will also be live soon. That's about my domain, and I do have openings for BTech students who wanted to do PhD with me at IIT Guwahati with MHRD or Ministry of Education supported scholarships. So in that way also there are openings available. I request you, if you are BTech student, kindly consider writing GATE. BTech PhD is a wonderful option with a lot many systems companies, fabulous companies are going to come up. People with the PhD in computer architecture will have huge demand in the next 4 or 5 years. So try to look forward for this market, and then that's what my message there. The exam result, that's a question by Bharadwaj. So if exam is getting over by this weekend, NPTEL take close to 2 weeks in summarizing the exam and sharing over to with me. And they will flag it whether my key is different from majority of the students answered. So after that, close to 1 month it may take for the releasing of the final result, because they will pass it on to me. And then I have to carefully go through if there is any anomaly. If majority of the students made the same mistake, does that mean my answer key is wrong? So it will go a little back and forth, and roughly within 1 month, they will be able to produce the result. So Bharadwaj told you wanted to work with me, you can contact my interns, my students, Abir and Rajeshwari and Vivekananda. 3 of them were getting. You will get their details if you look at their webpage. In my webpage, Abir, you can put up my webpage and students link. in the chat box. So you can contact any one of them, either Vivekananda, he works in security, Rajeshwari, she works in interconnects, and Abir, he works in AI or ML accelerators. So these are the 3 current students who are halfway their PhD. Okay. So Vidya, can you speak from where are you? From which institute are you? You are doing computer architecture research.
Sir, good evening, sir. I'm
Yeah.
from IIT Calicut.
You are from NIT Calicut. Okay, good. So you are doing under which professor?
Dr. Nirmal Kumar Boran.
Okay. So your topic is in computer architecture.
Yes, sir. Just
Okay.
post
Hope the
is good.
okay. So hope the course was useful.
Yes, sir. Very much useful.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So my website is shared. You can even connect with me in LinkedIn.
Yes, sir.
So for all the students, Abir has already shared my webpage. You can go to the students. You will get to know our lab. Mars Lab video is there where our previous scholars will speak. To know more about the current students, you can look at the students and alumni. You will get to know details from them. Please do reach out to them if you wish to have further than association with us. Yes, Akshit Kapoor, please speak.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Akshit.
Sir, I am Akshit Kapoor from SM Video University. Sir, I have a doubt in how branch prediction techniques works.
Okay, what is the doubt?
Sir, sir, how correlating predictor or local predictor like works? Like in the PPT, it has been written preceding and branches. What does that mean?
Okay. So what happened if it is a local predictor means you are having a branch which is going to be repeated. Let's say a for loop. So whether current iteration will it be taken or not taken depends upon whether previous iteration was taken. So local predictor, what it means is you are going to have the outcome of current iteration depends upon the outcome of previous n iterations. That is called a local predictor. Now, correlating predictor means the outcome of one branch depends upon the outcome of previous n branches. It is not the same branch repeated in previous iteration. So, a line, whether it's a branch, will it be taken or not taken, depends upon whether the previous 2 branches. It is not this branch previous execution. So, that is correlating predictor.
Yeah, okay, sir.
You got it? So,
Yes,
one is depending on what happened to me in the past. The other one is depending on what happened to my predecessors in the past. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Great. Okay. Anybody else? Any other query?
Hello.
Yes, Shubham.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
That's it. This question is in follow up with the previous one that I asked regarding the architecture knowledge and all. So, like I work in aerospace domain. So here, whatever system we develop and the software we write for that, that needs to be as per the process very deterministic. So, like as I attended some knowledge sharing sessions in our department. So even with multi-core architecture, it is the same. So that deterministic nature, in order to uh, get that determinism about whatever system I deploy for my functioning, how I can get into it basically, and what does it actually means? Because I don't have a very clear
Okay.
idea about it. Yeah, for a multi-core.
So, Shubham, one thing is when you talk about deterministic system, it is highly predictable what is going to be the next step. Step X follows step Y. There is no dynamism that is going to come. It's very deterministic. You know what is a program that is going to run. There are no random new inputs, dynamic inputs that is going to come. So under that case, you would be able to optimize. Let us say you have this program X going to run on hardware Y. The best way that you could do is some portion of Y that you can use. some portion of Y which is not relevant to the program, I can turn it off when it comes to power savings. And then, or I can have a custom built hardware in future, depending upon my application. I don't want a hardware with these features. I want a hardware only with these features because these are the only instructions that are going to use. But then over the years, even in aerospace, things may evolve, change. The current program that you may be working, current task may be deterministic in nature. You can have programs with taking dynamic inputs or runtime inputs in the future, which requires a hardware, which requires some systems that manages this input in a dynamic way and adaptive way. That's my take on it.
Okay.
So the skill that you have, see, you need not work in this long term. Now you may be working on something. Tomorrow, newer challenges will come. So architectural or optimization of programs based upon architectural platform will give better efficiency. If your application, let's say with 10 years your experience, you may be heading a bigger team where you can think of these options.
Yes, yes, sir. It is really helpful. Basically, in the knowledge share session, as the PPTs were rolling, I was I was able to relate many of the blocks with the courses that we have already discussed, and what they were talking about in the background from the blocks, from the hardware perspective. So, yeah, this course has really given me a ground to start with, that I can say. Thanks.
Where are you working, Shubham? Are you working in an industry or a student?
No, I am a working professional. I am currently in Bangalore.
Okay, you work in aerospace domain.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, great. Thank you for taking this course, and good to hear that even for industry professionals find a course that is prepared by an academician useful.
Yes, it definitely gives a ground to start with, because especially when we get into our normal work, it gives a head out to what else extra we can do, because mainly this architecture stuff is done and decided upon uh, by the people who are much more experienced, and we get to know through the some knowledge sharing sessions only. But in order to have a exposure to that kind of environment and how things actually work, this small means this kind of a small knowledge also helps to get into those kind of a systems understanding. So yeah.
So if you are in some professional networking, let us say tools like LinkedIn, you can write about your course experience and tag me, so that many other people who belong to this similar domain will also consider taking this course, so that no, it's all national money. So if more people can get benefit out of this, it will help. So basically the users, if you connect with me and then post up your experience about this course or where the course need to improve and then tag me, more people will read about it and more people, so you can so recommend more people in the future. In that way, the effort taken by Government of India will reach the nook and corner and more people will take this course and getting benefited. It's all taxpayers' money. So we want it to reach out to maximum people.
Yes, yes, sir, definitely.
Any other query from anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Aman.
So now that we finished this course, what is the next course we need to take as the next step of this course?
Okay, so I just wanted to know, you are an undergraduate student or what level you are studying, or you are a working professional?
I'm a master's student.
Master student in which branch?
VLSI domain itself.
Okay. So what I generally recommend is, with an architecture background, if you take any VLSI course, that will be helpful. VLSI, so design course, that is really going to help. The other one is, if you wanted to really know about it, there is an accelerator course which I floated. You can get it from my webpage. Go to courses. There is a domain specific accelerator which is going to work. Okay. So this is also probably helpful in this line if you wanted to work on AI accelerators.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank
you. Okay. And then taking a course at operating systems may be really helpful. Advanced operating system, that's one. Then embedded systems is another one. These are courses that can be helpful for a master's student with architectural knowledge.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So one more thing. Yeah, is there any documentation regarding Gem 5? I am seeing some of your old videos of Gem 5 in YouTube. Is that
Yeah.
enough, or is there any documentation to practice Gem 5?
Rajeshwari, you wanted to give any inputs regarding Jump 5? Do we have any standard document that is available? Either you write to her and then she will give some documents or slides. Yes, Rajeshwari, go ahead.
Sir, I'll put up the Gemfy documentation website in the chat box.
Okay.
Hello? Oh,
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, Shubham, that's one good question. So I am from EE background as a working person. How can I take way ahead so that I can tap the future market as we discussed earlier? So potential future market involves India becoming a semiconductor powerhouse with a lot of fabulous design companies coming. So only the fabrication need to be done outside. Everything designed is there. The ecosystem is good. Semiconductor plants are coming in Gujarat and Assam, and many other states are been following. So another 5 to 6 years, I see there is a lot of potential in the area of VLSI, in the area of computer architecture, design, electronic design, automation, testing and verification, and manufacturing, packaging. It's okay. So one way that you can look forward is either going and upgrading your skill by having a full-time MTech program in nanotechnology in VLSI. That's one thing. Where you need to sacrifice and then go for a higher regular degree for an MTech or a PhD degree so that you can work in R&D. The other way is try to attend as many as workshops, as many as training programs which specialize in such programs that is being offered by the National Semiconductor Mission. So these are the only two ways in which you can update yourself, by a regular course or value adding course. In that way, you will be in par with this. And please follow Ministry of Electronics and IT's website, MeitY website, R&D in Electronics and IT. They are coming up with a lot many programs. And try to follow that has been work that has been done, especially by these companies, Intel, NVIDIA, AMD, ARM. Okay. So Rajeshwari has already shared a lot of Jump 5 links from here. Yeah, but I will give a LOR only if the student is in the top 5%, because now in the case of an LOR, I will be able to, this is a question what the Bharadwaj asked, I will be able to judge only your performance in this subject. Many a times LOR for master's program abroad, they will ask about many other characteristic qualities of students, about sincerity, about teamwork, many of the things which I may be unable to assess. I can only tell about your knowledge level in this subject with respect to this course. So, and then many a times they also want to consider LOR because they will ask in what capacity do you know the student, how many years you know, how many months you know. So it will be always good that you can tell that you have taken this course, but an LOR should be there from a person who knows you very well. So that's the policy that I take, because we generally wanted to see this university professors also in the future. So we will give LOR only if you know a student or by a project that they have done in this. I can always write the student taken this course and this is the mark that the student got. Nothing more than that, we will not be able to judge. So while doing, there's a question from Bharadwaj, while doing embedded systems, which ARM microprocessor should we refer? It's completely left to the designer. There are a lot many from Microchip. There are a lot many from the Micron. There are a lot many from the Intel series as well. So it all has its own pros and cons, and the only thing is you should know the instruction set and what are the capabilities nowadays. More the capability in integrating with the sensors, built-in modules. So we are not very specific to any of the particular microcontroller. It depends on the user, and more or less all of them will have. It depends on, see, the real difference make only if you are working on an extreme scientific end application. The rest all applications, everything will be done. And then there are comparisons on x86 and ARM which will work. I cannot comment on anything because one is being taken care of by one company, other is taken care of by a different company. So I don't want to comment much about it. You can always refer to Google and then to get to know. It will be unfair from my side if I championize or if I support one of them, because both Intel and ARM are partners in research with me. Any more questions? Okay. So if we are going to end, then we may not have a formal meeting. After the exam, there may not be any live session. Requesting all to kindly take up the exam seriously, go and write the exam. Do it well. Please reach exam center on time, carry the hall ticket and follow the instructions. Look at the hall ticket instructions carefully and reach the exam center on time. Relook at the question, read it multiple times, numerical calculations multiple times that you do. Practice well the assignments. And it was a pleasure to have you all learning along with us. It's the enthusiasm of people like you which will drive people like us to float up more number of courses in the future. And the entire 3 months of time, lot of effort has been put by Vivekananda in preparation of the assignments. Vivekananda and Rajeshwari were taking care of the assignments and Amir was taking care of the portal answering. Not much of the time, all three of them during their PhD time put in a lot of effort. Congratulations and thanks to three of my brilliant scholars in trying to help me in the background. And the Center for Educational Technology of IIT Guwahati also helped in being the interface in recording the courses, the live sessions, everything. And thanks to NPTEL IIT Madras for giving us a wonderful platform to extend our learning and research to all these people. So wishing all the students the very best. I'm signing off. Thank you very much. See you in some other forum. Please do connected in LinkedIn and then come. If you have any doubts, you can still write it to us, not a problem. I'll be happy to address the queries. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.